guys. Okay, so that's quite a leading title. And it's quite a big statement to make. I found it. I found the Holy of Holies, you know, the heavens parted and the angels sang, well, the make of angels, not the heavenly angels, but woo! And okay, so what have I found, you're asking? Going, what the hell is she talking about? If you've been with the channel for a while, you know that the bane of my existence has been to find something that lasts on the waterline. And I've mentioned it a couple of times in different videos. I've mentioned all the products that I've used, and of course I couldn't think of them all off the top of my head. So you wonderful gals and guys have made suggestions. And, you know, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And yes, I had. I couldn't remember them off the top of my head again. So, you know, when you would write down in comments, you know, have you tried the 24/7s? Have you tried the Stila? Have you tried the Physicians? I'm like, yeah. Yes, unfortunately, I have tried probably about, well, in all these years, 30 brands, 30, 40 brands, and different tricks and different tips. And, you know, people are like, why don't you set it with some powder? It's like, people, I've tried that. I have tried everything. All the tricks of the trade that I've heard of and that I know of, and I just thought, you know what, my eyes are just my eyes. They're super watery. I'm a contact wearer, blah, blah, blah. So, the hunt so far led me to Smashbox's Jet Set liner, which was specifically made for the waterline, and that is pretty good. I mean, it has that texture where you know it's gonna really kind of just glob on there, but my problem was sort of the outer corners. Sometimes the inner corners, but really the outer corners. Obviously a lot of tears and I have watery eyes. So I would have like the black still there and then this huge gap there of just like nothing that had just sort of erased or wiped off. So, okay. Breathe. I finally freaking found it, people. So if you're like me, and I know there's a few of you out there because you were saying, yes, I feel your pain. I'm exactly the same way. So this video is for you. It takes 3 products. Lord. Well, actually, if you count the tool that I'm using, the brush, that's 4. But for me, it's worth it because I was like, you know, the little girl left alone in the playground. You know, everyone's like, woo, yeah, I don't have a problem, my waterline, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just off to the side, playing by myself, going, it doesn't work. Nothing works for me. I'm just all alone here in my little, you know, party of one. So, it has products that I've mentioned before, but it's the combo. It's really the combination of these. So, surprisingly, I know I've shown this recently, and this is not it. It's not the Laura Mercier Tightlining with the activator. Now, the thing is this doesn't say, you know, Laura Mercier's waterlining. So, you know, I guess I have to be fair because for tightlining, it actually is a fantastic product. I really do like it. Because, you know, the trick of this is if you've got something in your sort of tight line, in that upper line, and that's not really staying on or working, it's going to sort of migrate under there, and then it's just going to be a hot mess. So that part is important as well, and that is great, this product. And honestly, I used it with the Laura Mercier brush, but I don't know, something about the activator really freaks out that brush. So I'm using it just with the Sigma SS 212. It's a little bit thicker, but I just need to get in there, and I'm quite fleshy up there. Whatever. Anyway, so, right. Now, why am I mentioning the product that doesn't work? But just for those of you who are really, you know, thinking that this might work for the waterline, not so much on me personally. And plus, it kind of takes a lot, and so you have to put layer upon layer on the waterline, and this is not a deep jet black kind of product. It's fine for up top. You can get a really dramatic dark line, but for the waterline, I just don't find it has a lot of depth. It just goes on the waterline differently. So anyways, but that is a good product for the upper lash line, which consequently affects the lower waterline. Now this I've had on probably for about 4 hours, and it's exactly the way I put it on 4 hours ago, even in the corners. It'll last like 8 hours, 9 hours. And I'm like a really, really hard case. So for those of you who don't have that many issues, it'll last for 24 hours. It'll last for 48 hours, I'm sure. Not that, you know, that's kind of gross because you need to wash your face, but it will last. So here we go. The combo is Chanel Mirifique, the Devitt pencil, eye intensifier pencil, and a matte shadow. I happen to be using the matte black here, which is called Ebony, right there. And the fourth product is the tool, because I actually was using one of those little smudge brushers before, because I would, you know, draw a line and then I would use that to sort of smudge it out, and it was really, really teeny. You know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I didn't bring it with me. I don't know why, but and for some reason that doesn't place the shadow on top of the liner as well as this little thin angle brush. This one just happens to be the by Terry, but the MAC one works like any really, really slim slant brush. Okay, so that's the combo there that will make it last for freaking ever. And I'm like beyond thrilled at this point that I can, you know, and I put this on and then I put my contacts in, and the water and all this, nothing, it just doesn't move. So this, if I use all over the eyes, which I have now, but of course I've really sort of dispersed it, I will put a thin line of it, just in the lash line, not the waterline, just a thin line of it. And this really kind of is the key, because it's like a barrier. It just binds everything on there, and it just stops anything from creeping, because once this set, this really doesn't move. I didn't find that necessarily with the other Chanel Illusion Dawn, but this particular one, the Mirifique, so it's that black one there. So I just put a thin little line of it on the lash line there. And then I go in with the pencil right on the waterline. So, whoop, I should do this one. So I'm not going to actually put it on because I've got enough there, but you just put it right on the waterline. And this is one of the better pencils. I found that this one does last longer than most. Of course, on me, just on its own, it didn't work. This with powder on top of it, it didn't work. It was really when I added this sort of thing, I don't know what it is. It's not like one is better than the other. It's all of it in conjunction. So once I put that on, then you take the black, and instead of going in like this, I go on the side. So I just sort of pack it on both sides, and then like that, sort of, oh my gosh, I can't even do, no, I'm going to totally kill myself here. But if you can see it that way, I pack it on that way, and then angle it this way and pack it on that way. So I don't really do this. I use the side of the brush. And I think it just packs on more, and it lays it flat right on top of the liner. And it just doesn't move. I think I'm gonna cry now. It just doesn't move. So for those gals out there like me who've had a heck of a time, or the ones that have found something but the outer corners tend to sort of rub off, you know, after like an hour or two or whatever, you know, I'm sorry to say, I really don't like to say that you have to run out and get these particular products. I played around with other ones. I haven't played around with it all because I'm just like so chuffed that, you know, I finally found the combo. So, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing. So, obviously if I find dupes for it, or if I find, now that I realize what works, if I find sort of less expensive alternatives, I'll definitely make a video and let you know, because, you know, I do understand that these are kind of higher end products and not everybody, you know, wants to sort of splash out the dough. But for me, because water lining has just been such a huge issue, for me to finally find it, I don't care if I had to spend hundreds, you know, honestly, because these products will last me years and years and years. So really for me, it was something that I've been dying for, wanting, yada, yada, yada. Now, before this video goes on too long, so what else is new? I will mention that I did pick up one of these just because after, you know, getting this, I'd heard so much buzz about the Chanel, Ligne de something, Ligne de Chanel, and this one is in Noir. This is the one that's always sort of in the collection. Oh, what the hell? You can't even see it. So, I freaking love this. Really, really love this a lot. It's really jet black, very, very deep, much deeper than the Laura Mercier. Mind you, I've only used Laura Mercier with the activator. The activator might do something to it. I just use the Chanel with water. And honestly, I think people, I've heard mistake them both for liners, but they're really not. I think the black is really the liner, and then you kind of smudge the other one on top of it. That's what I've been doing. Don't quote me that that's the way you have to do it. But, and it's the rare occasion where the actual applicators, they kind of come apart. They come in two different sections. Whoops. One the liner, one the smudger. But of course you can put them together to just make a bigger applicator. I actually use this rather than using a separate liner and smudger because this is so good with that product. The brush head is really, really thin. It gets a thin line right along the lash line. And then this smudger is fantastic. It's sponge tip, but it's actually really quite sturdy and stiff. Not like crazy stiff, but it's stiff enough so that when you go over it with the sparkly sort of gray-black shadow, it looks really sparkly, but honestly, it doesn't go on like that at all. When you have that line and then you smudge it in, it just gives you a perfect sort of smoky eye. I'm using it right now. You can't really tell, but if you were to see it close up, it's kind of like a diffuse. You just get right into the lash line. So, if you can believe it, I'm using 3 different or multiple eye products. I've got Chanel on the top line, smudged out. I've got Laura Mercier in the Tightline. And then I've got the Sue Devitt, the whole, you know, the Stila powder, and the Chanel on the lower. I mean, that is just retarded, right? Oh, you know what? I'm not going to say that word anymore. I do know that, you know, some people are kind of offended. I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but for those of you who might be offended, I'll just say mental. So that's like totally mental now, where those are a lot of products, and it does seem like so much work, but for me, honestly, if something that won't budge for 8, 9, 10 hours, then it's worth it. And so that's a perfect combo. I really am only talking about the waterline, but I just thought I would show you and share with you what I'm using for the whole eye altogether. So hopefully you found that helpful, and oh my god, I'm just like, I just want to jump for joy. So thanks so much, guys, and I'm going to try and quickly shoot another video while I have the chance. And I will mention that I know that there's some requests here and there, and I'm really so sorry, but I just really want to let you guys know that I kind of pre-shoot all the videos weeks before I actually upload them, because I have very few opportunities to actually film. So I try and film as many as I can in one shot and then kind of upload them as I go. So, you know, something that I upload, I may have shot it almost a month prior. So I'll forget sort of what's on my eyes or what's on my nails. Sometimes I will remember, but for the request, you know, it's not like I can just like film a request right now. My schedule just doesn't allow that. So I just wanted to kind of put that in, because I don't want it to seem like, no, I'm not going to take any requests right now, because obviously the whole point is to help you guys. But that's just sort of where I'm at right now, that I'm not able to just, you know, film whenever the heck I want to. So that's kind of how it's going. And I was going to say something else, but my god, now I'm panicking because I don't want the video to be too long. So yes, oh, that's what I wanted to say. I don't film the monthly favorites all in advance, obviously, because they're monthly favorites. So things like that, I will film, you know, at the end of the month. I do kind of feel the pressure to go, oh my god, it's at the end of the month, I have to at least do one video for the monthly favorites. So but apart from that, all the other ones, the hauls, the reviews, I tend to do in one lump sort of chunk weeks beforehand. So anyways, I'm rambling now. Mwah! I will hopefully see you soon, guys.